Hmm.
Hmm. Light upon you, light within you, light to comfort you, light to guide you, light to heal you, light to bring you home to your own heart. Let's do together the two most important things that we can do. The first is, let's each of us, in our own way, find, enter, breathe into, and rest in your heart. Like that. And feel the support of everyone else who's doing this. Where we are in the world, whether we know each other personally or not, is not relevant in this space. Because the second thing we can do is allow our heart, your heart, my heart, to seek each other's heart. That is not metaphorical. Hearts seek hearts. Because the truth that the heart knows is that underneath all of the seemingly individual aspects of ourselves, we truly, truly are one. Because each of us has the same spark of divinity in our hearts. And as the Sufis say, the lover seeks the beloved. Hearts seek hearts. So let's do those two things. Find your own heart as you know how to do right now. And then breathe laterally, front and back. Make a cross of your heart. Goes in front, goes behind you, goes to either side, and feel, see, sense, imagine your heart linking with my heart and linking with the hearts of everyone else who has chosen to join us. Now, add to that, when I say ground yourself, do that. If you're sitting in a chair, feel your feet on the floor. If you're sitting cross-legged, feel yourself sitting and extend your awareness, however you do it, through feeling, through vision, through sensing, through imagining. Your first chakra coming out of your perineum down into the earth, wherever you are, right? And if we extend all far enough into the earth, we meet, because the earth is round. And all of our first chakras actually meet in the core of the earth. And we draw sustenance. Lots of illness is precipitated and maintained by the disconnection that so many people have from the simple connection with the earth. what we're going to do tonight in a few moments, based on what we're doing now, is create a common prayer for each of our cleaning of those energies that we are carrying, that we've brought to this moment to be transformed. Energies of our own and energies that we have picked up because we are sensitive creatures crawling on the earth. And as anybody who is even partially have 1/4 of one eye open knows, there's lots of energy flying around this earth right now that is looking for transformation. Lots of off-gassing going on, lots of digging in the pockets of humanity's consciousness and pulling out that which has been hidden for so long, that which has been sequestered based on human ego, based on all the things that we know. We are living in any time, we are living in a sea of energy. And now we are living in a murky sea of energy, wherever you live. I live in a very, very beautiful place, kind of the end of a valley in the forest. And I feel what's going on Earth acutely. Each of us is then called to do with that what we are called to do. What we all can do is pray. What we all can do is learn the art more deeply every day of holding the space of compassion and faith in the heart. That's what we all can do. And then whatever we are called to do in relation to what's going on in the world, wherever you are guided, wherever you feel called, we can bring that. That's what I know about the inner art of transformation. Wherever I am called to be, bring my heart and bring that space of compassion and faith, and then observe what happens when I bring that. And there are people doing this all over, I tell you. I've recently got connected with a group of people in Israel, which is, as we know, right at this moment, that place, that area is the center of the transformation that's going on Earth. And the people who are suffering there are transforming huge amounts of human darkness that has been focused there for millennia and now has come acutely out of the wound has opened, huh? Talk about everybody there. People in Gaza more than the people in Israel, but the people in Israel as well. Transforming huge amounts of energy that all of us have created. Right? And so I got connected with a group of people the day after the attack on October 7th. Actually, it was 2 days, on the 9th. A friend of mine called me from Israel. And he said, "What can I do? What can I do? I feel helpless. This is overwhelming." Right? This is a man of very, very good heart and good intention, a man of peace, a man of light. And so I said, "I'll tell you what, gather a group of your friends in your apartment and let me teach them this. It's what I can do. It's a little bit." So he gathered 13 people in his apartment a few days later, 3, 4 days later. And I taught them what I'm teaching you, the art of living through the heart. It's an hour and a half. And these are people who, because they're people who have worked on themselves, but also because the situation is so acute, they were available. What that turned then into was an online meditation course where 5,000 people came together over a period of time to create a space of peace, to create this space of compassion, to hold the space for what's going on. And various people in that situation are called to do various things externally. But the internal that they're doing and that we can do, and that people all over the world are doing in their way, is create a space of the heart so that transformation can accelerate and be held in a space rather than putting our energy into the fight. We put our energy into holding the space. And if you are called then by your affiliations to participate in the conversation, whatever that looks like, can do it from this space. That affords the possibility of transformation. And then I bring that into myself, right? Of course, I am not in any way, and I'm very grateful at this point in my life and in this life right now, to not be among those who are suffering in that way externally, right? I am grateful for that. And nobody on this call is suffering in that exact way. But in some way, that suffering is in me, and that darkness that is being compelled to be transformed in this moment through very, 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 very difficult circumstances. I have that in me to some extent. And I have my own transformational process where I am called to do the same thing for myself and in my small community and in my family that we are being called in the macro level. Find the space of compassion, find the grounded heart space, and find that place of faith, right? Faith does not have anything to do with religion. Compassion does not have anything to do with religion unless you are called to be part of a religion, in which case those energies should be at the base of anything that we do. I participate in lots of ceremonies, and there are people on this call who have participated with me. And it has a particular flavor, it has this particular medicine, it has this particular perspective. But that's not what it's about. It's about creating this space of the heart where light can come and transform based on the honest, simple, truthful prayers of those participating. Ceremony is just a convenience. Your body is a convenience for transformation and learning, right? Your body, your blessed vehicle, the greatest gift in all the universes that puts you into this incarnational process is a convenience for you to learn what you came to Earth to learn by previous agreement. And I know that there are people in the call, some of us, we've worked together, and that's what I just said just pisses you off. Because sometimes we suffer and we're like, wait, I didn't agree to this. Why would I agree to this? I'm sorry to say, well, okay, maybe you didn't, but I did. I didn't say, oh, send me to Earth to suffer. I said, I need to learn this and this and this and this. In my case, what I have needed to learn and have needed to be brought to my knees to learn is to substitute faith for despair. To find the place of faith in me and cultivate that So despair has no longer has its karmic hold on my soul. You have your own lesson. I'm going to stop for a minute and just contemplate through your heart. What is your lesson? What did you come to earth to learn? I'll give you a hint. It's the hardest thing that you're learning. And it's the thing that gets put in your face over and over and over again until you learn it. What is it? And that you go, no, 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 not that. I don't want to do that again. I don't want to have that in my face again. What's the solution? Solution I know is what we're doing here. To develop intimately my relationship with light, universal light that again is not confined to any ideology, to any religion, to any path, to find my grounded, discerned heart and cultivate my intimacy with that through choice. Here's what I know from my recent experience. The true spiritual path, my path, and you each have yours, but I can tell you the essence of mine. I have my teachers. Some of them are in bodies. Some of them do not have physical bodies. The main ones for me don't have physical bodies. They have consciousness. They are elevated consciousnesses. Maybe they used to have bodies, but they don't now. And what they are teaching me is how to save myself. See, most of us belong to a culture where the divine is put outside us, and we are taught to be like children begging for help, begging, 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 help me, just like a child holding up our arms like this. Sometimes the help comes in a way that we expect. My help comes by teaching me how to save myself, which means to find that what I just said, to cultivate my own heart, to cultivate those places in me, built into me, of humility, calmness, compassion, faith, and surrender, the layers of my heart chakra. And literally to be able to enter into communion through my own heart with the heart of my teachers who put me then in touch with the heart of the universe. It's a harder path than begging, 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 and waiting around for somebody to come and save me. Maybe for you that works. Then that means that's what you came to earth to learn. This path that I'm on, that I have been taught through difficult lessons, because I'm a very, very stubborn person. So for me, I've been taught through being literally brought to my knees to save myself. And that's not an ego. I'm not saying that from an ego point of view. Of course, I have an ego. Saving myself means learning that karmic lesson. The first step for everybody on the true spiritual path is to be brought to humility. Humility lives in the center of your heart. If your heart is a flower, that place in the center of the flower, right? This place in the flower, right there, that's humility. Hard thing for people to learn, hard thing for humans to learn. Depending on our stubbornness, depending on our fear, depending on our resistance, it can be a very, very hard lesson. We have to be cracked. That's number one. That's the basis. Number two, cultivating calmness, cultivating through breath, a little bit of patience. Number three, coming into the space of compassion, where my hands are, to hold the space for all that transformation. Number four, space of faith. And then what we're going to do here in a couple minutes is we're going to put everything that we need transformed on that altar of faith. See, because here's the thing. Trying to heal yourself makes what you're trying to heal worse. Trying to heal yourself, the energy of trying to fix it. In fact, when you get down to the nubbins of what needs to be healed, it makes it worse because you're putting that energy of anxiety and trying so hard, most of which comes from your mind, into the thing itself, and it just gets denser and stronger. What's the solution? The solution is finding the place of faith, learning the inner art of taking those thoughts, because all the things that bother us, they're just thoughts planted in our field, right? Somewhere that thought lives that then has created symptoms, right? Thoughts and energetic knots. By accessing the place of faith, and then holding that and breathing and learning the art of connecting consciously with light, which is universal, ubiquitous, and available to everybody. Everybody. Learning that art then creates an ambiance in your aura, in your vehicle, of a healing space. You live in a healing space. So then, according to how you're learning your karmic lessons, and according to grace, and especially according to the vibration of forgiveness that comes to a place in your heart, those thoughts unravel. Thoughts are like a ball of yarn. Thoughts made up of thoughts, made up of thoughts, made up of thoughts. They live somewhere in your aura. And they cause you misery. Cause your body to twist around and adjust like this. And so we live like this, so to speak. When I find the space of faith in my heart and I breathe, it starts to unwind. And I go through some serious stuff. My dreams evolve. Sometimes my emotions come and I have to cry and scream and sometimes writhe on the ground in the release of that which I have held. But I'm doing it within a space of faith and compassion and light. So I'm not rolling around in it for the sake of rolling around in it. I may be temporarily rolling around in it as it is being transformed by the combination of light held in faith. So now you know everything I know. That's it. But actually, let me say this, by the way. If you really want to study this with me, I'm going to be doing a class 4 weeks in March and 2 weeks in April, where I'm basically going to convey what I know at this point in my development. I would love it if you came and studied with me. It's going to be systematic. Here's what we're going to learn. All of this that we're talking about, plus a whole bunch of other stuff. And I can tell you, by the way, it's going to be the last time I'm teaching for a while. I'm going to take off a year from teaching, starting in July. I'm going to write a book. based on all this. And I'm going to concentrate on doing other medicine work. So please come if you wish. Spend some time together for 6 weeks. Okay. That's really all I want to say tonight. I want to give you that orientation, huh? For your prayer. Some of you have worked with us before, so you're more familiar with what I'm talking about. Some of you are brand new. Let me just say that I can, in this work that we do, those of us who are teaching it are teaching by example, right? I am not sitting here saying, oh, look, y'all heal yourself. Not that at all, right? This is a path of transformation, and it's a path of truthfulness. So as I heal myself based on these principles, I then can tell you what I've done and invite you to come and do your version of it, you see? And not do it by rote, do it by your own, by the development of your own intuition, by your own agency, right? We need to stop seeing ourselves as the victims of our incarnation. We are not the victims of our incarnation. We are the agents of our incarnation. And the incarnation, with all the difficulties that many of us have, I know people on this call. I know some of y'all have suffered and are still suffering. I know it. And I know that everybody here, to some extent, has suffered, because to be a human being means to have a portion of suffering that we are responsible for transforming. That's part of the deal, to help. And particularly at this time on earth, I'm betting that you know that you came to earth to help. Help yourself, help your family, and help this world. Because, as they say, God knows we need it. So my job is to give you, in this moment, both some tools, some ideas, just to stimulate and say, well, man, wow, maybe that's right. Maybe I'm really going to cultivate this relationship with my heart. It's so simple that your mind goes, no, 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 it has to be more, it has to be complex. You have to read philosophy. So read philosophy. But here's the thing, the philosophers give us the ideas. What we're learning here is, how do you do it? How do you do it? That's been my whole life. That's been my prayer. These amazing ideas from fantastic teachers. How do you do it? What about the rest of us? What about those of us that are not avatars? You know, what about those of us that are people climbing the ladder and helping each other up on the ladder? So that's what I'm learning. How do you do it? And what I know is, grounded on earth, centered in my heart, receiving light in the space of faith. That's what I know. Okay, so let's do it. What about that? So I'm going to guide you through the meditation. Some of you have done it many times with me. So as my grandmother would say, it couldn't hurt to do it again. Right? We're going to go there. We're going to come to the space of the heart, and we're going to place that for each of us, what is up that is already in transformation, but we're going to accelerate it by putting it on the altar of the heart, altar of the faith, and then holding the collective altar of faith for all of us. And then we're going to call divine light. Okay? What do you think? Yes? Do I hear an I? Okay. I do want to say it's an absolute honor and pleasure to be with you all. and especially to see my dear, dear beloved friend Queenie. One of the most incredible people any of y'all will ever meet. I'm telling you that. She says no, but she's wrong. So here's what I want you to do. Go back to the beginning. Connect with the earth however you do that, through the bottom of your feet and through the bottom of your body. If this is a difficult thing for you to do, it means that's what your work is. That's all it means. If any of this is a challenge for you, it simply means that's the aspect of what we're doing for you to fill in. Just feel that, appreciate it, allow your body, your vehicle, to connect with the ground. Put one hand on your lower belly, the other hand under your collarbone. Close your eyes. Feel, see, sense, imagine the space right in front of your spine, a vertical tube. The tube, in fact, is made up of energy of the earth and energy of the cosmos, of the heavens. It's a braid that is at the base of your energy system. Feel that, see it, breathe in it. Take a breath from the bottom up to your top hand. Hold it for a count of 3. Breathe out, go down. You're scraping that center, opening it up. Go down to the bottom, hold it for a count of 3. Do that 3 more times. Up, up, up. Down, down, down. Good job. Good job. Now cross your hands over your heart center and give a gentle squeeze with your bottom fingers just to call your attention to that area, which is the etheric body of your heart, and it is where calmness resides. Breathe into that space of your hands. Push your hands forward a little bit with your breath. Take the middle finger of your bottom hand and stick it right in the middle of your chest, right underneath there, right in the center. Poke up and down a little bit. There should be a place that's a little sore. It's an acupuncture point, conception vessel 17. That's the space of humility. I'm not making this up. Good for you. Take a big breath, relax into that. Humility is a life study. Now, flip your hands open. Make a shelf of your hands in front of your heart. A shelf, your palms facing up, your fingers extended, making a shelf. Good job. Put your awareness where your fingers are. An image that I use, I imagine that my hands are a dock, and I walk out on that dock and I sit in the end of the dock, which is the end of my fingers, and I dangle my feet in the perfect, pristine lake, surrounded by woods, perfectly clean, perfect temperature, and I just sit. I just sit, breathe. This energy from your fingers at the distance surrounds your whole body. It's a donut. It's a ring of Saturn around the planet of your heart. Feel what happens when you tune into it. The calmness that comes even more. The peace. Space of neutrality. Truthfully. Now, put the heel of your hands where your fingers are. In other words, you've gone 50%. Same thing, extending your hands out, making even a further dock, a further shelf. Now put your awareness where your fingers are again. However you do it, right? Visualize it, feel it, see it, sense it, create an image. But your awareness is right there. Your energy is there. You feel it. You can see it. This is a space of faith. Faith. Built into every human vehicle. Space of faith. All religion does, ideally, is stimulate this in you, but it's already there. Now, where your fingers are in that space of faith, create an altar. What is an altar? Altar is a sacred place where we place that which we do not know how to heal, but because it's a space of faith, we know that healing is assured somehow. Create that altar, whatever it looks like to you. Good. Now you can keep your hands there, or you can drop them and still maintain the awareness of that space. Now, find in you what at this moment in your life is already in the motion of healing, in the process of healing, perhaps even through symptoms, even through difficulty, even through it being put in your face. Whatever it is, put it on the altar of faith. Take it in your awareness, put it on the altar of faith. Now just breathe. You already put it there. You don't have to maintain an obsessive tuning into it. Now breathe in your heart, and we are collectively going to call light to this, creating in the center a communal altar of faith, where all of our altars of faith come together as one. One heart, one altar, one faith, one compassion, one humility. We are asking here for the guides of this work and the guides of each one of us to answer our prayers by radiating what we have offered up with light, and radiate us, radiate our whole being, radiate our whole vehicle. Bring us awareness of light, bring us the feeling of light, the knowledge of light. Help us to step beyond our small awarenesses into this universal awareness of light. We ask this in the name of that light. And we ask those who ride on this light and bring this light to us to make yourself known through feeling, through sight, through sense. Now, everybody breathe and just receive. Perceive the light however you do. Each one is slightly different. And let whatever comes, comes. Thoughts come, let them go. If feelings come, you're very welcome to have them. If awarenesses come, ask to be reminded afterwards so you can write them down. Hmm. Hmm. Let whatever you're carrying that is in the way of this prayer being answered, let it go. Let it go by breathing. Let it go by blessing. Let it go by staying tuned in to your center and your heart. Hmm. Hmm. Breathe the best you can to stay with the awareness of your heart. Allow your thoughts to do whatever they want to do. Hmm. 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 Let the light fill you. If you feel something in your body, some tension, some place that needs the light, breathe into that place in your body. Let the light slide in through your breath to that place. Breathe. Come back to your heart. How do you feel this light? It's here for real for each of us. How do you experience it at this point? How do you know? How are you going to recognize it when you call it again tomorrow when you're sitting in your meditation and you call light to you? How are you going to recognize its arrival, its signature? Hmm. Now it's coming even a little more. The light comes commensurate to how much we can handle. The light will never go more than you can actually handle. The deeper you breathe, the less you think, the more you open your heart, the more you open your chakras, the more the light will come. Because the light wants what's good for you. Hmm. Now let's take another step. What do you want to ask? What dilemma do you have? What do you need some guidance about? Breathe in your heart. Breathe into the altar of faith. Ask your question. See how the answer comes to you. Mostly it doesn't come through a voice. Mostly it comes from an intuitive understanding, a hint, a nudge, a feeling. Breathe. Now just bask. Relax. Just relax, relax, relax. Be assured that the light is there with you, clearing you, taking what you no longer need, which is pretty much everything, bringing you this peace. Now, if you feel connected to what I'm going to say, ask your guides, whether you know who they are or not, to help you bring this into your life, to remind you of this meditation, to help you firm light as your referent, as your friend. through your heart. Ask for help. If you are in this call with other people, make a pledge to help each other by breathing, telling the truth to each other. At the beginning, I asked you to identify your karmic lesson as well as you could. Remember that and ask for help in shining light upon that, in completing your mission that you came to Earth to do, of transforming that, of learning that, so that when your time comes to say goodbye to your body and go into your other body, you take with you the knowledge that you've gained. You've taken your step up the ladder. Hmm. Now, one more step. See, feel, sense, bringing this light into your day to day, particularly into whatever work you're called to do on earth. Bringing this space of faith, this space of compassion, this space of humility into that place and calling light to it explicitly or silently. Light transforms. And light gives a reflection. So you can look at that you're doing through the eyes of your heart, through the illumination of light, and see what you want to do about it. What is the opportunity? Light upon you, light within you, light to comfort you, light to heal you, light to teach you, light to call you home to your own heart. Now we're going to add one thing to this mix here. We're going to add gratitude. Gratitude is at the same distance from your throat as faith is from your heart. Gratitude is in the mental body of the front of your throat chakra. Gratitude and generosity open us to receive. Gratitude affirms the unity of all beings. Generosity affirms the belief in abundance rather than lack. So let's come back together here, appreciating our hearts, appreciating this light. We get together, and it is for sure stronger when we help each other. But it's there all the time, free. The light doesn't demand anything, but what it does is it invites us to receive more of it and making more our referent. It's up to each one. I'm very, very grateful for the opportunity to join you, right? Helps me a lot. I'm reinforced in my own faith and my own light. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming and being with me. The invitation is keep doing this. Sit in your meditation, sit in front of your altar. I hope you have an altar. If you don't have an altar, make an altar. Sit in front of your altar, breathe in your heart, do exactly what we did, and just call light to you. Because there also are consciousnesses that ride on this light that will be are your allies, but can make themselves more known to you. Right? There's lots of work to do on earth, of bringing light wherever it is, wherever you go, wherever you're called. Doesn't matter. It actually does not matter what you do. You want to do something that you like, that's good for you, that helps other people as much as you can. But truthfully, wherever you are, you can call light. One thing is not more important than the other. Some people have a little bigger mission than others. That's all. The salvation of humanity that I understand is the joining together of the points of light on the inner planes, holding the web of faith and compassion and hope, so that everything that's going on can have a context and not just recirculate, but actually be transformed. So that we can make this gigantic leap of, as I say, the longest 4 inches of the universe from the third chakra to the fourth chakra. That's all that's going on. It's just that humanity is super, super, super stubborn. I admit that I am too. So thank you all. Bless us all. I do. We hope to welcome some of you to the class I'm going to do. In any case, we'll be doing this again. Amen. Namaste. See you later.